Hello, welcome to Fozy Time, listeners. I'm going live here, or not live. I'm actually recording a quick video because multiple reports are surfacing that Cristiano Ronaldo is finally gone. It's a done deal. The reported fee of $28 million returning to Manchester United on a 2-year deal that'll pay him 18 million euros a year. The fee structure is a little bit up in the air. Reports of about $15 million up front to Juventus with possible add-ons. He landed in Lisbon for medicals today, and deal's getting finalized if it just hasn't been so already. Not a big surprise here if you guys have been watching our show, Tifosi Time, which again airs Monday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern in New York. Subscribe, like, join the show. We've been talking about the Ronaldo saga for a while now. This week, it sounded like Man City was hot on his tail. Ultimately, they refused to pay the transfer fee that Juventus needed in order not to show a loss on their books this year. So ultimately, he returns to Manchester United at the ripe old age of, 37, 36? I always forget his age. But here's my hot take on it, folks. And it may be no surprise to those who listen to the show, but it may be contrary to most football fans out there, Juventus fans. I, for one, am happy he is leaving. I believe it's ultimately the best thing in the interest of the team. But let me start with the good, right? So Ronaldo came to Juventus a couple years ago. What worked about it? One, marketing, right? He chose Juventus when he left Real Madrid over every other team and elevated already a top club in Europe to even greater world status, right? I mean, I remember having, cousins in the U.S., little girls that don't watch sports or soccer that knew Cristiano Ronaldo. So for that, it made a ton of sense for Juventus. They made a ton of money in terms of shirts and the brand. So they had to make the deal at the time. I thank him for probably what I think is his greatest moment on the pitch, that 3-0 hat trick he had over Atletico to reverse the Champions League tie in the return game and send Juventus to the quarterfinals. That was a pretty great game. That was a typical Ronaldo game. Why you get him as a champion to personally come back, reverse the 2-0 deficit, send him to the finals. That game was, to me, the greatest moment, the greatest, game in terms of excitement with Cristiano Ronaldo in a Juventus jersey. Let's talk about why I've been saying, and everyone, the other hosts on the shows who may drop videos also today, have been saying that we didn't really want Ronaldo in the sense of, yes, he's a champion. You can't say he's not a champion, but we were never huge Ronaldo fans, right? So, and I think a lot of that played out in his final days with Juventus, right? Number one, Juventus is Juventus, okay? No one is bigger than the shirt, okay? We've had Platini, we've had Baggio, Del Piero, Zidane, right? You are not the first champion to play for Juventus. In the same token, you came here for the fans. You wanted to try your Italian journey. You came here to try to bring a Champions League to Juventus. When the time was up in your mind, it was clear. You had no more joy on the pitch. You didn't run for the team. It was all about getting your goals and getting out. The fake arm injury that you had this week, I mean, is a perfect example. The way he tried to, trying to force his way out of Juventus. I mean, it was obvious, right? When he was on the field, a lot of times he played for himself, okay? And it blocked other people on the field. If you guys watched the opening game of Serie A this year, with Juventus, yes, they did tie, right, versus Udinese, but you saw Dybala, who was alive, who was enjoying himself because he was made important again. There was other issues. They can go back and watch a show that we didn't agree with, of how Juventus played and Allegri did, set the team up. But in terms of the overall play, having Cristiano Ronaldo on the team limited the coach's options, what the team can do in game, even starting lineups that they would make. Cristiano Ronaldo had a certain weight, he had a certain stature. He's a little bit of a prima donna, and he refused to sit. He had to, he had to play. He can never come out, no matter how he was playing on that day. To me, I don't like players like that. Also, from a management of the team with Juventus, and I know it's not all Cristiano Ronaldo's fault, but he did skew their decisions that were already poor to begin with, right? I have to think that bringing on players on freeze like Ramsey, Rabiot, bringing on older players to try to meet this window, this Champions League window that Ronaldo was supposed to bring them the Champions League to end the drought, ultimately they're going to end up paying for those decisions for a while, right? For every young player, Romero, Spinazzola, every young player that they had to sell to bring in revenue, just to meet their financial obligations, was a drain on the club that they just couldn't afford. I mean, his salary was about 60 million euros gross to get to his 31 million net, right? That's a huge financial strain. It's quite frankly too much that he was getting paid. And they'll have to dig their way out of that. Ultimately, my take on Cristiano Ronaldo's time at Juventus, he came here for one reason. It was to win the Champions League on the field. That's the reason that counts to me. And I think, the other hosts on Tifosi Time, the marketing dollars, the exposure, the brand, you want to put on my sport management cap? Yes, win. Great. Awesome. But on the pitch, Cristiano Ronaldo's time at Juventus, if we have to grade it now that it's over, is a failure. He didn't achieve what he wanted to do. And I know you don't win the Champions League because of one player, but let's not forget, Juventus was on a roll of Serie A, championships, 6, 7 in a row when he got here. He continued it for a couple more years. They lost last year, right? So we could have done that with or without him. And ultimately, we did not win the final, which honestly I'm upset about because I would have liked to see Buffon get a final. A championship win is the only thing he's missing. But, so my take is Ronaldo, goodbye, God bless. Don't let the door hit you with a soccer god split you. Have fun, but it's a new chapter for Juventus. I'm excited. I wish we would have had the guts to do it ourselves instead of being forced to Ronaldo making do it. But in the end, we got a little bit of money coming back in. We got rid of your bloated salary. You can go have fun in the Premier League. Manchester United will not win a Champions League either, so it doesn't really matter. Go have fun. Forza Juve. Subscribe, like us, watch the show. Monday nights, streaming live on Twitch, YouTube, 9 p.m. Eastern. Also available on podcasts. Take care, everyone.